Welcome to my channel English with AI. I am so happy to see you here. Today, we are going to talk about something very important for anyone learning English. I want to share my personal journey, the mistakes I made while learning English, and how you can avoid them. This video will help you understand the common challenges, and I will also give tips that worked for me. My hope is that after watching this video, you will feel more confident and motivated to continue your English learning journey. Learning a language is not just about memorizing words or grammar, it is about building habits, practicing regularly, and staying consistent even when things feel difficult. When I first started learning English, I had big dreams. I wanted to speak fluently, understand movies without subtitles, and write beautifully. But soon, I realized that the path was not easy. One of the first mistakes I made was expecting too much too fast. I thought I could memorize hundreds of words in a week and suddenly start speaking perfectly. I remember sitting with my notebook, writing down 50 words every day, and feeling proud. But the next morning, I could barely remember half of them. I felt disappointed, frustrated, and sometimes even thought that maybe I was not smart enough to learn English. Later, I understood that language learning is a slow process. Words stick when you use them regularly, not when you just memorize them. Small, daily practice is far more effective than cramming. Another big mistake I made was being afraid to speak. I used to hear my friends speaking English and feel embarrassed. I remember one time when my teacher asked me to introduce myself in class. I froze completely. My hands were shaking, my voice was small, and I could not say even a single sentence. That fear stayed with me for months. I avoided speaking with anyone because I did not want to make mistakes. But one day, I decided to try. I spoke to myself in English at home, recording my voice. I made mistakes, laughed at myself, but slowly, I gained confidence. I realized that mistakes are not failures, they are lessons. Speaking regularly, even imperfectly, is the key to improvement. I also struggled with focusing too much on grammar at the beginning. I thought if I memorized all grammar rules, I would automatically speak perfectly. I spent days trying to learn every rule, every exception, and I carried a grammar book everywhere. But when I tried to speak naturally, my sentences sounded strange. Then I changed my approach. I started reading simple stories, watching English videos, and noticing how grammar was used in real sentences. I realized that grammar is best learned through context and usage, not by memorization alone. Another mistake I made was studying without a plan. I would sometimes read a book, sometimes watch a video, sometimes do nothing. My progress was slow because I did not have a routine. Later, I made a small study plan, 15 minutes of reading, 15 minutes of listening, and 10 minutes of speaking every day. This simple routine made a huge difference. I learned that consistency matters more than intensity. Even small daily actions, repeated over time, create real improvement. I also depended too much on memorizing vocabulary. I would write long lists of words and try to remember them. I soon realized that memorizing words alone does not help if you cannot use them in sentences. I started to read stories, watch videos, and write sentences using new words. Suddenly, words became easier to remember because I understood them in context. I learned that using vocabulary actively is better than passive memorization. Another mistake I made was translating everything from my native language to English. Every sentence I tried to speak was first formed in my head in my own language, then translated. This made me slow and confused. I started to practice thinking directly in English, even with simple sentences. At first, it felt strange, but gradually it became natural. Thinking in English improves fluency much faster than translating in your mind. I also made the mistake of waiting for perfection before speaking. I thought I had to know all the words and grammar before trying. I would rehearse sentences in my head but never say them aloud. This delayed my progress. I learned that starting to speak early, even with mistakes, builds confidence and fluency. Every attempt, every conversation, even small ones, help you improve. I often avoided interaction with others. I would study alone, read books, and watch videos, but never speak with anyone. I thought I could learn everything alone. But interaction is powerful. Speaking with others helps you learn natural expressions, pronunciation, and real-life English. Even short conversations can teach you so much. When I finally started talking to friends and strangers in English, my progress accelerated. I also made the mistake of choosing materials that were too difficult for me. I wanted to challenge myself, so I picked advanced books and videos. But I felt frustrated because I could not understand most of it. I learned that starting with beginner-friendly materials and gradually increasing difficulty helps build a strong foundation. Pronunciation was another challenge. I thought pronunciation would improve automatically. But it did not. I started listening carefully, repeating words, and practicing sounds. Slowly, my speaking became clearer. I realized that pronunciation needs attention and practice. Listening is one area many learners ignore, and I was no exception. I used to focus only on reading and writing. But listening trains your brain to understand English naturally. I started listening to short stories, songs, and conversations. My understanding improved without studying grammar separately. Listening is powerful because it allows your brain to absorb patterns naturally. Focusing only on reading and writing is another common mistake. English has 4 skills: reading, writing, listening, and speaking. Ignoring any one skill creates imbalance. Practicing all skills together strengthens your learning. I learned to read, write, listen, and speak daily, even in small amounts, and my English improved faster. Comparing yourself with others is also dangerous. I used to feel frustrated seeing others speak faster or understand more. But everyone has their own pace. When I focused on my journey instead of comparing, I felt more confident. Your journey is personal, and progress is personal. Thinking that age matters is another myth. Many people believe only children can learn languages easily. I am living proof that anyone can learn at any age with practice, patience, and motivation. Studying only when motivated is a mistake I made. Motivation is temporary. Discipline is permanent. Even when I did not feel motivated, I studied a little every day. These small actions built my skills over time. Habits matter more than short bursts of motivation. Not reviewing lessons is another mistake. Without revision, knowledge fades. I started revising lessons regularly, and my memory and understanding improved dramatically. Repetition strengthens learning. Trying to use big, difficult words to sound smart was a mistake I made. Simple English is powerful. Clear communication matters more than complicated words. Using simple sentences helps you speak confidently and naturally. Avoiding writing practice was another mistake. Writing helps organize thoughts and think in English. I started writing short journals, sentences, and summaries. It improved both my writing and thinking skills. Getting frustrated when I did not understand everything was common. At first, I felt lost reading English books, but I learned that partial understanding is normal, and understanding grows over time. Enjoying the process is more important than understanding every word. Ignoring accent training was another mistake. Accent does not mean sounding like a native, it means speaking clearly. I practiced pronunciation exercises, listening, and repeating sounds. My clarity improved. Relying too much on subtitles when watching videos was a mistake. Subtitles help at first, but I learned to watch without them sometimes. My listening skills improved, and I could catch natural speech faster. Repeating only written grammar exercises was another problem. Grammar needs speaking practice too. Using grammar actively in sentences made it easier to remember. Thinking mistakes are embarrassing slowed me down. I realized mistakes are natural and helpful. They show that you are trying, learning, and growing. Studying for hours without breaks caused fatigue. Short, consistent sessions worked better. I found that my brain absorbed more in focused, small sessions. Thinking expensive courses are necessary is a common misconception. Free resources like videos, podcasts, and online exercises can be very helpful if used correctly. Avoiding materials I did not enjoy slowed my learning. I learned faster when I chose content I liked. Enjoyment makes the process smoother. Skipping revision led to forgetting. Repetition helped me remember words, phrases, and structures for a long time. Not setting goals confused my path. Clear goals gave me direction and focus. Small milestones kept me motivated. Not tracking progress made me feel stagnant. Tracking even small improvements motivated me and helped me see results. Giving up too soon was another mistake. Patience is essential. Improvement comes slowly, and persistence is key. Avoiding speaking with foreigners limited my exposure. Speaking with different people taught me expressions, accents, and confidence. Thinking I needed the perfect environment prevented me from studying. I learned to focus anywhere, anytime. Not speaking alone prevented practice. I started talking to myself in English, recording, and correcting myself. It helped immensely. Trying to learn too many things at once caused confusion. Focusing on one skill at a time was more effective. Ignoring mistakes prevented growth. Accepting mistakes created learning opportunities. Not celebrating small wins reduced motivation. Small achievements must be appreciated. Thinking learning English is a race creates stress. Learning is a personal journey, not a competition. Skipping immersion slowed progress. Surrounding yourself with English helps absorb it naturally. Avoiding active usage of language is a mistake. Practice must be active to be effective. Skipping pronunciation practice leads to unclear speech. Regular pronunciation work is necessary. Ignoring reading out loud slows progress. Reading aloud improves fluency, confidence, and memory. Depending only on one teacher or method limits growth. Exploring different resources gives better results. Ignoring weaknesses prevents improvement. Identifying them helps focus your learning. Not asking questions creates confusion. Curiosity and clarification accelerate learning. Expecting perfection creates pressure. Progress is more important than perfection. Ignoring basic grammar weakens foundation. Basics must be mastered first. Thinking advanced lessons alone make fluency is false. Using simple English consistently builds fluency. Skipping listening practice reduces understanding. Listening regularly is key. Not speaking regularly slows fluency. Speaking every day, even a little, builds confidence. Learning vocabulary without sentences reduces usefulness. Context is necessary. Rushing slows learning. Slow, steady progress is more effective. Studying in noisy places prevents focus. A quiet, calm environment is helpful. Stopping learning after basic level is a mistake. Continuous improvement is necessary. Avoiding real-life English practice delays growth. Applying language skills is essential. Fearing judgment prevents speaking. Confidence removes fear. Reading only once reduces comprehension. Multiple readings improve understanding. Skipping warm-up exercises before speaking causes hesitation. Warm-ups prepare your mind and voice. Avoiding difficult topics limits growth. Challenging topics expand skills. Not using English daily prevents natural improvement. Daily use is essential. Ignoring rest prevents learning consolidation. Rest helps memory retention. Not enjoying the journey creates stress. Enjoyment accelerates learning. Imitating others too much reduces personal style. Your style is unique. Avoiding reading due to boredom slows vocabulary growth. Reading is essential. Ignoring small mistakes prevents improvement. Small corrections accumulate over time. Not practicing writing reduces structure and thinking. Writing regularly is necessary. Not listening to different accents weakens comprehension. Exposure strengthens listening. Fearing new people prevents speaking opportunities. Talking to new people builds confidence. Stopping practice after mistakes is harmful. Mistakes are learning opportunities. Thinking English is too difficult reduces motivation. Positive mindset improves learning. Not being patient slows progress. Patience is the heart of language learning. Thinking improvement is impossible reduces effort. Believing in improvement keeps you going. Ignoring spoken English weakens fluency. Speaking often is necessary. Thinking you must sound perfect prevents communication. Clarity is more important than perfection. Not thinking in English slows fluency. Thinking in English improves speed and confidence. Not building habits reduces consistency. Habits are the foundation of progress. Not believing in yourself slows growth. Self-belief strengthens learning. Thank you so much for watching this video on English with AI. I hope my story and the lessons I shared help you avoid the common mistakes I made. Remember, learning English is a journey. Stay consistent, practice regularly, enjoy the process, and do not fear mistakes. Every small step brings you closer to fluency. Keep learning, keep growing, and I will see you in the next video. Take care, stay confident, and continue your English learning journey.